Hey, welcome back, everybody, for another edition of Trash Talk.
Good morning.
Yeah, we're here and we're ready to talk some trash. We're gonna have a little fun today because we're gonna just do a kind of a Q&A session.
Oh,
And
oh,
one of the things that I like to talk about, and I'm not going to be able to talk about it right now because I don't have it on my share file. So
oh,
anyway.
wait
So we'll get it in there, but boy, modern technology. There you go. But here we go. So I'm going to share this because I'm going to talk about my good friend, our good friend, I should say, Christine Dean, who is the DFW networking diva. I urge you talk about Q&A, which was what we're going to talk about today. You got questions. This lady's got the answers. And she can help you improve your net marketing presence, your websites. Just call her. It's a free consultation. Go over a few things with her. She'll take good care of you. Like I say, you got questions, she's got the answers. And we got questions, and we're going to try and come up with some answers.
I have no idea what's going on right now. So
yeah,
thank you.
I'm gonna throw them out, and we'll probably both answer the questions. But the first question I'm going to throw out is, what do you value more? Free time, recognition, or money?
Free time.
This is a tough one for you. I know free time, but I know that also with all your podcasts and all the other stuff that you're involved in, the recognition part is probably pretty important too.
Yeah, it is. But I've also learned in my life, even though it's frustrating, I'm sure it's been frustrating to you and most people, I've learned in my life too, like, look, most of the stuff that you do in your life, you're not going to be recognized for it. You're not going to get the pat on the back and the honky-dory happy, especially in the working environment. You're just not. So to me, the fact that I can complete tasks, get some financial whatever income, whatever from, and have free time and put my feet up for an hour or two, and knowing that everything is done, it's worth it more for me. I don't need somebody to give me a shout out.
No, I think you're right, because the recognition part of it, that could be fleeting. You could be recognized in 6 months from now. It's gone.
Exactly.
The money part of it, yeah, that's good, because you want to be able to at least have enough money to pay all your bills and to provide for others too, and all. But
Yes.
that can fluctuate. It also can be controlled. If you don't allow yourself enough free time, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot.
You won't be able to get the other stuff anyway.
That's right.
Allow yourself that mental break, that physical break, that everything, you're never going to be able to get the money or any love that you want or shout outs that you want anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, all right. So I think we both would agree that probably free time is the most important.
Yeah.
Although Jerry Maguire would say, "Show me the money."
Well, that's true.
But
that's true. But he's a Scientologist anyway, so he doesn't know what he's talking about.
What do you love most about your hometown?
Oh, my real hometown? I think just knowing everything about it. Like, I think feeling that presence of being at home. Like, I think when I go back, and it's not just from like, oh, I know I used to have this memory there. I think that's part of it. I think it's just knowing like there's a comfort. When I walk down the streets of Detroit, I just know it. I don't feel worried about anything. I just know it. When I go to my South Line and I drive by the high school, I'm like, there it is. Like I just know it, and it's just a sense of comfort, and I don't know, it's just part of you. You feel that connection, that underlying connection. What about you?
What was it like the first time that you did kind of a follow-up to that? What was it like when you took Luke back to your old neighborhood in your old hometown?
It was cool. Unfortunately, Luke didn't get to go down to the D. He didn't get to go to Detroit. He was too young. And then the next time he went back was a COVID scenario. And then the next time I went back, I had too much stuff. But it was cool. I got to took him up to Michigan State. So he got to go hang out with Sparty, go in some of my old stomping grounds over there, kind of go by the stadium and all that. it was a cool experience. And the most recent trip, we got to take them to some other stuff. Got to take them to downtown, check out this, not Detroit, but downtown, like South Lyon area. Go to the parks down there that I used to hang out at,
Right.
And do things that we won't talk about. And that was fun. It was cool to pass that memory on. I look forward to doing that when he gets older and I can take him to like a Tigers game and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I enjoy going back to the old neighborhood where I grew up, and surprisingly enough, the neighborhood where I grew up, it was definitely a blue collar, middle class neighborhood, and to this day it still is. It hasn't changed that much. The downtown area is completely renovated and different from what I remember, but the old neighborhoods and everything, those are pretty much being maintained by a younger generation. And that's kind of good to see.
Yeah, I like that. Like we went to the park and there's this tree that at the time was a relatively new tree. It was kind of big. I'm losing my voice, but and it was overgrown, this tree, and it covered a park bench that I used to hang out with my buddies and our girlfriends. And we went there, and our initials, our things that we carved in it are still there. So I showed that to Luke, and then I carved his name into it. It was just kind of cool,
You mentioned carving initials and carving names. I read something once where, when you go into the woods, you take a date and you go into a nice secluded wooded area or something, and you see, names and initials carved in the trees and all. Has it ever bothered you to know that somebody took a date into the woods with a knife?
Right. It's like Dexter. It's like you're a serial killer,
That's what I see when I see all those initials, is what prompted this guy to think it was cool to take a knife into the woods with his date just so he could carve a couple of initials.
We had this trail. And I took Luke on this trail too, part of it, but it was kind of overgrown. And you could ride your bike through it. And it was woods, but it divided the two subdivision areas. So for when I was younger, we would just go in between the trails to go to the two subdivisions. And I had friends in both subdivisions. And at the time, I had one girlfriend in one subdivision, one girlfriend in another subdivision, not at the same time, but I would literally go. We're kids. It was the only secluded spot that we'd go make out. So we'd make out by the same tree. And I always thought to myself, man, I wonder how many people have made out by this tree.
Right.
This tree could talk,
Is it safe to walk on this path anymore?
Right. And then I'm like looking at the names carved in and I'm like, oh, I can't let her see that.
Yeah. Or you walk around all the trees and you see Jessica's name carved into this tree, Jessica, and Jesus, Jessica's name's over on that tree and she's on this tree, Jessica spent some time.
A scorecard of guys that she just panned through, We all know what Jessica.
Yeah, there's a Jessica in everybody's past.
Absolutely.
In fact, if you go back to that path, she's probably still there.
Yeah, she's probably looking like that tree right now,
Yeah.
Hey, fella, you want to go for a ride?
Jessica, life has not treated you so good,
Hey, is there a mistake in your life that you keep repeating?
Yeah, I keep doing the show. No, I'm just kidding. The hell am I doing here?
We're gonna do another one.
Yeah, I thought we were done.
Another one.
I mean, guys, I've been trying to get canceled for the last year.
Yeah.
Oh God, is there a mistake that I keep repeating? Yeah, there's been quite a few.
Any that you can talk about?
I don't know. I'm sorting through them right now. Look, it's not that type of show. It's not a life coach entrepreneur session here. Let me see. You know what? I think one of the biggest things, and I'll simplify it because there's people that are watching this that are waiting for me to say something. I'm going to simplify it. And I think it goes back to, because I have erased some of those mistakes, but I think one of the biggest things for me is not just diving in, but like I am definitely setting myself up on certain situations to fail. I'm not realistic about what I can achieve in a certain amount of time. I'm just not. My mind is ready to go and I'm ready to go, but time around me is, whether that's what I can get done in the day, whether that's recording, writing, do stuff at work, at my jobs. I'm like, oh my God, I've got this much to do and I've got 8 hours to do it. And I think I can get it done. And when it comes down to the 7th hour and I'm like, I didn't do it. It's a big kick, it's a big kick in the stomach,
Yeah.
I keep doing that.
I know. And I have a hard time in focusing on getting something accomplished. I'm a procrastinator. I have a tendency to put things off. And then either I forget about it or I get down to the last minute. I mean, I was that way in school. I always used to spend that night before going to class when you had to turn in that report. And 3 o'clock in the morning that day, I was up finishing off my report. And I to this day, I still procrastinate over stuff like that.
And I've definitely procrastinated over things that I don't deem important, that are probably important, my biggest thing, it's not the procrastination part as much as it's, oh, but this is due now, and I keep the pile on and I'm just like swimming through this mess of chaos trying to get everything done. Finally, I feel like I'm better at just eliminating that crap, being like, you know what? No, what's a priority here? I don't know.
Yeah. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever given?
I've ever given?
Yeah.
Have that next beer. Yes, you can have the shot. Don't worry what she says. You don't have to go home now.
That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick worst piece of advice, probably was to tell somebody to stick to doing something that in my heart I really didn't believe they were qualified to do. Sending them down a wrong path.
So it's not like you don't want to crush their dreams.
Yeah, people always say, if there's something you really want to do, just go out there and do it.
Well, I get that. Try it should be the advice.
Yeah, and sometimes you tell the wrong people that, and they pursue it, and it's detrimental to their livelihood.
Yeah, I've learned to just be like, you know what, and I still struggle with that on a few people, but for the most part, I'm a dream crusher. I'm going to just come out and tell you not to do it, or that you're wrong. There's some of my friends out there I know are listening and they're like, yeah, it sucks, but I don't think that as a friend or an acquaintance that we should be like beating around the bush, like tell me, if I do something wrong or I'm bad at it, I'd much rather have you be like, Brandon, what are you doing? You're an idiot, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, you're right.
That's right. And then you go out and you do it again.
Probably, but at least tell me the truth.
All right, here, I think this is a good one, really, for both of us too. Okay. At this point in your life, what are you most grateful for right now in this moment?
The few friends I have, and I have, the few real friends I have, and my son more than anything in this world. That's just it. If we want to not really strip me down, nobody wants to see that. But if we want to strip me down past all this, I'm just a pretty simple guy. I just want to hang out with my people and my son. That's it. You take everything away. If every show and podcast and everything had to stop, okay,
And I think it's safe to say that every moment that you spend with Luke is probably a great moment. And as he gets older, they'll change a little bit, and he'll try your soul, but
yes,
it still adds up too. Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful when I look back at the life that I've had and realize that I'm where I'm at today. and I'm still enjoying life and still enjoying everything around me. And you get trials and tribulations, and it's how you how you go after them, how do you overcome them,
Yeah.
but just being able to look back and say, man, this has been a pretty wild ride, and I've really enjoyed it.
And that's it. Yeah, it is. And in doing these shows or talking with you or doing the podcast, and I start reminiscing of those moments, I'm like, wow, like I got to do that. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Like I'm grateful for that.
I was just thumbing through some of these cards. The next one I came up with is one I can't really answer this one very easily, but this is definitely a Brandon question. What are the two biggest lessons you've learned from previous relationships?
Well, ex-girlfriends and wives is my forte. So I'm an entrepreneur in that. Okay, so one, just be honest and open and about every single thing, even if you don't deem it to be important. Just do it. Even if it pisses her off and she leaves anyway, at least you can hold your ground and say, hey, I told her, that's number one. Number two, really try to get to know somebody before you commit full-heartedly. Like wholeheartedly, not foolhardily.
Yeah.
I think at times we've just like, you date somebody and you know them, but you're dating, and that's part of getting to know them. But I think you really got to look past the looks and whatever other stuff and dive into the soul of the person. And that takes time. You've been married longer than I've been alive.
That's true.
So, you get it, I think that's it. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know if I'll get to apply those things.
Absolutely. Because, the one thing that I think is most difficult is for people to look beyond the infatuation part of a relationship. That's always fun and games and all, but to look at that person that you're thinking about getting serious with, or you're really enjoying your time with, a little bit about who they are and what they are, what their background is. And then ask this important question. How do I feel about being with this person 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? When this infatuation part is over, can I honestly see myself in a relationship long term?
I think you're right. And I think one of the biggest problems nowadays, or in general, is people take that infatuation and are like, oh, but we get to do this and we're going out and I feel this way and we have fun. And they haven't gotten to the brass tacks of it, and they haven't gotten to the real world. When the real world hits, when you lost your job, or maybe you're a little bit older and you're not as, fit as you used to be, or you can't stay up as late anymore. When you get to that, then what happens?
Yeah.
Are you quit? Or are you going to be like, no, I'm still in love with this person? And that's what I think people forget about. So,
yeah. What would be your absolutely perfect day?
Yeah, perfect day. Well, to not have any work, not have any deadlines, not have any projects, to put the phone down, put the emails away. Whether I spend that with my son going out camping, that's perfect, off the grid. Or let's say coming up, like I've got some time by myself to just do what I want to do: read a book, go for a run, cook my dinner, listen to my music, maybe just whatever it is with no schedule. I think that's the key.
Just let things evolve on their own.
Look, if I choose not to take a shower that day, cool. I'm sitting my own filth, but that's on my choice. I don't want to have to be like, I've got it at 6 a.m., 6:30, 6:45, 9. Like, I don't want that. Today's not that day. Today is a very much scheduled day. But yeah, I think that would be pretty good. Drink some coffee, just chill.
My perfect day is always a Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock because it starts off with trash talk. And then I let it just evolve from that point forward.
And then it's all downhill from there.
That's right. At least I could say I had my highlight today. So for all of you out there that joined us, we hope that this was the highlight of your Tuesday. Go out and do whatever you want for the rest of the day and come back and see us next week.
We did our part. And hey, by the way,
That's
make
right.
sure if you guys are going out on St. Patrick's Day, you guys have a happy St. Patrick's Day and be safe. Catch an Uber, okay?
Right. Then the top of the morning to you. See you later.